The F-121, 21. The F-121 Fighter Squadron 121 of the U.S. Navy was a former Pacific Fleet Replacement Air Group RAG unit. Originally established on 1 July 1946 as VF-781, it was redesignated as VF-121 on 4 February 1953 and disestablished on 30 September 1980. On 11 April 1958, it changed duty from Fleet Squadron to Fleet Replacement Squadron and was later charged with the training of Navy F-4 Phantom flight and maintenance crews. Operational history. Fighting Squadron. On July 1, 1946, the F-781, the pacemakers were stationed at Naval Air Station Los Alamitos. On 20 July 1950, the F-781 was based at NAS North Island. In January 1951, the squadron moved to NAS Miramar. The F-781 served on board USS Bonhomme Richard with Air Group 102 CV G-men. The F-781 was redesignated the F-121 on 4 February 1953. 407 after redesignation to the F-121, the squadron transitioned to F-9 F-6 Cougars with commanding officer Jimmy E. Savage for their 1954 Western Pacific deployment. 371, they made another cruise with CV G-12 to the Western Pacific and Korea on the USS Hancock from 10 August 1955 to 15 March 1956 flying F-9 F-Me. 372, the last cruise was on board USS Lexington from 19 April to 17 October 1957. 373, Commander R. E. Dusty Rhodes was CO of the F-121 during 1955. He was a former commanding officer of the Blue Angels flight team from 1940. Rhodes worked with VC-6 and their A.J. Savage tankers on air-to-air refueling. The exercise was successfully tested off the coast of San Diego. Training Squadron. The first West Coast F-4H Phantom Squadron was assigned to the F-121 at NAS Miramar. The F-121 received the first examples of F-4B Phantoms in 1961. On 24 May 1961, Project Lana, the 50th anniversary of Naval Aviation Transcontinental Race, aircrews came from other aircraft types and became qualified in the flight, navigation, and operation of the F-4H Phantom. Maintainers came from other squadrons and schools to learn the Phantom as well. Gunnery and weapons training was obtained while deployed to Macaw's Yuma Carrier Field Landing Practice FCLP. Their skills were graded by a Landing Signals Office LSO the same way as on a carrier. Once qualified, they could advance to actual carrier day/night launch/recovery qualifications. After this training, the aircrews were assigned to a fleet squadron and sea duty. Top Gun. The original United States Navy Strike Fighter Tactics Instructor Program, more popularly known worldwide as Top Gun, started in March 1969 under the F-121 control. Home port assignments. The squadron was assigned to these home ports: NAS North Island, NAS Miramar. Aircraft assignment. Grumman F-6F Hellcat, Chance bought F-4U Corsair, Grumman F-9 F-2/5 Panther, Tail Code D, Heel Code D, Code D, Code D, AD, Grumman F-9 F-6/8 Cougar, Tail Code D, Code D, North American FJ-3 Fury, Tail Code D, McDonnell F-3H Demon, Tail Code NJ, Grumman F-11 F Tiger, Tail Code NJ, NJ, McDonnell F-4B Phantom Roman 2, Tail Code NJ, Code NJA, and NJ. Commanding officers. The F-781, LCDR Colin I, Overland 1 July 1946, to 1952. LCDR Stan R. Home 1952 to 1954 VF-121. CDR J.E. Savage 1954. CDR Jerem H. Dusty Rhodes 1954 to 1956. CDR T.S. Sedager 1956 to 1957 has 2 kills to credit. CDR Gerald O'Rourke 1964 to APRA 1965. CDR Timothy R. O'Neill APRA 65 to 14 Mar 1966. CDR Scott S. Lamoro 14 Mar 66 to 23 Jun 1967. CDR Marlon W. Townsend Jr. 23 Jun 67 to 14 Jun 1968. CDR Henry L. Halleland 14 Jun 68 to 30 Sep 1969. CDR Richard Schult 30 Sep 19 to 15 Jul 1970 helped start Top Gun. CDR Billy D. Franklin 15 July 70 to 28 May 1971. CDR Donald B. Pringle 15 May 71 to 20 Dec 1971. CDR James F. Dorsey Jr. 20 Dec 71 to 22 Feb 1972. CDR Russell E. Davis 22 Feb 72 to 31 Aug 1973. CDR Alvin S. Newman 31 Aug 73 to 16 Dec 1974. CDR James F. Dorsey 16 Dec 74 to 1975. CDR Dennis Brooks 75 to 1 Jun 1976. CDR Chuck McGill Jun 76 to 1977. CDR Frank Mezzeri Jun 1978 to 1979. CDR Philip Anselmo 1979 to Sep 1980.